While the world has been changing
After the
around us,
devastating
wildlife has been
2017
changing too,
hurricane season,
in astonishing,
surviving
measurable
enormous
ways.
lizards had
These are
developed
not ancient
significantly
evolutionary
larger
stories.
towpath.
They're happening right now,
In Alaska,
over the
pink
past few
salmon are
years.
genetically programmed
Researchers
to
have
migrate
uncovered
from the
dramatic
ocean
shifts in the animal
upstream to
kingdom,
spawn at a
adaptations
specific
unfolding
time.
at speeds once thought impossible. Climate change, human expansion, pollution, urbanization, and shifting ecosystems have pushed species into new challenges.
surprising
And in the
ways
face of these
marine
pressures,
wildlife,
wildlife
including
has responded
dolphins,
with ingenuity
whales,
that
and
continues
sharks,
to
has
astonish
evolved in
biologists.
recent
Today,
years.
we're counting down 6 surprising ways wildlife has evolved
Because
in recent
tuskless
years,
elephants
not
were
from
ignored
distant
by
prehistory,
poachers.
but from the
They
living,
survived
breathing
to
world
pass on
around
their
us right now.
genes.
Let's begin.
Today-
Asterisk. Number 6.
In
Mosquitoes
Alaska,
are splitting
pink
into
salmon
new
are
urban
genetically
species.
programmed
Countdown
to
begins in
migrate
the
from
most
the ocean
unexpected
upstream
place,
to spawn
the
at
dark
a
tunnels
specific
beneath
time.
major cities. For decades, entomologists have noticed a strange
Elephants
pattern among
don't
mosquitoes
know
living
to lose
underground
their
in subway systems, sewer tunnels, and basements. These aren't just surface mosquitoes hiding from the sun, they're a population with unique behaviors, distinct biology, and their own evolutionary trajectory. A tale of 2 mosquitoes above ground. The typical mosquito we encounter, Culex pipiens, prefers to feed on birds, rarely biting humans unless necessary. They're highly seasonal, becoming active when warm weather arrives. But in underground
In the
systems around the
Caribbean,
world,
climate
London,
change has
New
in
York,
frequency
Tokyo,
and in-
and beyond,
Discover 6
scientists discovered
surprising
another
ways
mosquito that
Australian
behaves
wildlife,
very differently.
including
This
kangaroos
underground
and
version
koalas,
feeds almost
has
exclusively
evolved
on
in
mammals,
recent
bites
years.
humans, far more frequently breeds all
In the
year long,
Caribbean,
can survive
a
without
study
seasonal
found that
temperature
surviving
cues,
lizards
does not
evolved
interbreed easily,
hurricane-proof
with
feet
surface
with
mosquitoes to
larger
researchers.
towpaths and
These
stronger
differences are
fins.
not minor quirks.
The unique
They're the
features
building
of
blocks of
Australia are
speciation.
rapidly
The moment
evolving.
when one species
We
branches
look at
into
6
2,
surprising
urban
ways
evolution, at high
marsupials like
speed,
the
what's
kangaroo
remarkable is
survive.
how
The
quickly this
salmon
divergence
population
seems
has
to have
evolved to
occurred.
migrate 2
Subways
weeks
like London's
earlier
were
than they
built
did
just
40
over a
years
century
ago.
ago, yet the
This isn't
underground
just a
mosquitoes are
behavioral
genetically
choice.
distinct, enough to
Evolving
show signs
rapidly,
of reproductive
this incredible
isolation. In
predator
simple
now
terms,
thrives
if
among the
surface and
towering
underground
structures of
mosquitoes
our
no longer
cities.
mate successfully, they are becoming different species right beneath our feet. This is evolution, not across millions of years, but across a handful of human generations. Why this matters: urban environments are now
Evolution isn't just a
accelerating
process of the
evolution,
distant past.
shaping animals in
As
ways
these
we never
incredible
expected.
examples
These
show,
mosquitoes are
it's
one of the
happening
clearest
all around
examples
us
that cities
right
aren't
now.
just concrete jungles. They're engines of rapid
Swallows
natural
evolved
selection,
shorter,
and the
more
result is a new
wings.
form of wildlife adapted
Shorter
not to
wings allow
forests,
for a faster
wetlands,
vertical
or open
takeoff and
fields.
better
But to
swallows
us,
evolved shorter
number
wings
5,
to dodge
elephants
traffic.
are being
Cliff
born.
swallows in
Without
Nebraska
tusks next
move
on
from
our
highway
list is a
bridges and
dramatic
overpasses,
evolutionary
putting them
shift
in direct
happening across
conflict with
elephant
cars.
populations.
Shorter wings
One
allow
driven by
for a
one of
faster
humanity's
vertical
darkest
takeoff
interactions
and
with
better
wildlife,
maneuverability,
poaching. The
helping
rise
the
of
birds
tuskless
pivot away
elephants in
from
parts of
oncoming
Africa.
SUVs.
Researchers have documented a
population
stunning
had
increase
evolved
in
shorter,
female
more
elephants being
rounded
born
wings.
without tusks. In
Shorter
regions heavily
wings
affected
allow
by
for a
poaching during
faster
the late
vertical
20th
takeoff
and
and
early
better
21st
maneuver-
centuries, as
migrating
many as
fish
1/3
were
of
less
females now
successful
lack
due to
tusks
the
altogether.
warmer, lower
Once an
water
essential
levels,
tool for
while the
foraging,
early
digging,
risers
and defense,
survived.
have become a liability, a marker that makes an elephant more likely to be killed for ivory. How poaching drove rapid evolution. This shift is not random. Elephants with tusks were far more likely to be hunted. Those without tusks survived and passed on their genes. Over just a few decades, the span of 2 or 3 elephant generations, the frequency of tusklessness surged. Scientists have traced this adaptation to specific genetic pathways linked to tooth development. In other words, we're witnessing a case of human-driven natural selection, almost in real time. This is evolution under pressure, sharp, intense, and undeniable. Consequences for the species, yet losing tusks comes at a cost. Tusks help elephants dig for water, strip tree bark, defend their young, shape their environment without them. Elephants must adopt new behaviors and rely more on group cooperation. What we're observing is a complex evolutionary trade-off, one that underscores how strongly human activity can reshape wildlife. Window into how fast evolution can be. 50 years ago, tusklessness was unusual. Today, in some areas, it's becoming common. Evolution is not something that only happens in textbooks. It's written visibly on the faces and in the very DNA of elephants alive right now. Number 4, urban birds are evolving to sing at higher pitches. At number 4, we look to the skies above our cities, where birds have been forced to adapt to one of humanity's loudest creations, noise. The problem? Cities are loud traffic, construction, machinery, sirens. Urban noise fills the air with a constant low-frequency hum that overlaps with the natural songs many birds use to find mates and defend territory. For birds, communication is survival, and in cities, their voices were being drowned out. The evolutionary shift: higher-pitched songs over the past 20 years. Scientists studying birds such as great tits, songs, and blackbirds have discovered a remarkable trend. Urban populations now sing faster songs than their rural counterparts. This isn't just behavioral flexibility, the change is becoming consistent across generations, suggesting natural selection is shaping vocal characteristics. Birds with higher frequency songs are more successful in noisy environments. because their calls pierce through the low rumbles of urban life. Those traits appear to be favored and passed along. Why this matters: bird song plays a critical role in reproduction. A slight change in pitch can determine which birds attract mates, which males establish territory, which individuals survive. Unintentionally have become filters, selecting for birds with songs adapted to human-made soundscapes and acoustic arms. Race as cities grow louder, birds continue to adjust. This ongoing evolutionary battle demonstrates how adaptable certain species are, but it also highlights the pressures urbanization places on wildlife. Some species flourish, others struggle, and the soundtrack of the natural world is transforming to survive. Number 3. Fish are adapting to pollution faster than expected. At number 3, we dive beneath the surface of rivers and coastal waters, places where pollution has created some of the harshest environments on Earth. Yet in these contaminated ecosystems, certain fish have performed evolutionary feats once thought impossible. Pollution, a powerful evolutionary force. Many waterways today contain industrial chemicals, heavy metals, pesticides, and hormone-disrupting compounds. For most species, exposure to these toxins is lethal. But in polluted sites across the United States, Europe, and parts of Asia, scientists have found fish populations that not only survive, they thrive. One of the most well-studied examples is the Atlantic killifish, sometimes called the mud minnow. These small, unassuming fish live in estuaries and marshlands, places hit especially hard by decades of industrial waste. The mutation advantage. What researchers discovered is astonishing. Killifish in heavily polluted waters have evolved genetic mutations that allow their cells to shut down or bypass the normal pathways toxins used to cause damage. These fish have basically rewired their biochemistry, developing increased toxin processing capability, cellular resistance to carcinogens, altered gene expression related to stress response, faster detoxification rates than any related species. And here's the most remarkable part. These adaptations happened in just a few dozen generations, a blink of an eye in evolutionary time. A double-edged sword. While this rapid evolution showcases the resilience of life, it comes with important implications. These fish are now so specialized for polluted environments that they struggle in cleaner waters. Their adaptations, though extraordinary, have locked them into a narrow ecological niche. What we're seeing is evolution under extreme pressure, a form of biological triage. Nature is rewriting genetic code, not over millennia, but within a single human lifetime. Why it matters: if one species can evolve to withstand such harsh conditions, it offers hope for resilience in the natural world. But it is also a warning. Pollution is powerful enough to become a dominant evolutionary force, and that reshaping of life has only just begun. Number 2. Coyotes are becoming more urban and more intelligent. At number 2, we turn to a species that has not merely survived human expansion, but mastered it. Coyotes, once native primarily to the western plains of North America, now roam nearly every major city on the continent. Chicago, Los Angeles, Toronto, Phoenix, Atlanta, all home to well-established coyote populations. The urban shift. What makes this remarkable is not just geographic spread. Coyotes are changing, evolving both behaviorally and genetically to thrive alongside humans. Urban coyotes navigate traffic patterns, travel through storm drains and railway corridors, hunt invasive species like rats and rabbits, avoid humans with strategic precision, exhibit higher problem-solving abilities, form smaller, more flexible family groups, live longer than their rural counterparts. These adaptations suggest a level of cognitive and behavioral evolution that continues to surprise researchers. Smarter, stealthier, more strategic. A growing body of research indicates that coyotes in cities show elevated indicators of behavioral plasticity. In simpler terms, they're becoming more inventive. Urban coyotes have been documented waiting for pedestrian signals before crossing roads, learning specific garbage pickup schedules, altering hunting times to avoid survival.